Hey there, welcome to Contracts and Chaos. My name's Alyssa.
And I'm Brenna, and we're here to tell you that you are not alone in the mayhem of this real estate industry.
We're keeping it real and sharing our stories, strategies, and successes in today's real estate world.
So come join us every Tuesday while we talk contracts and chaos. Okay. I was just going to say that you should probably lead this episode because you are the hostess of a lot of agent meetups. Especially for our brokerage. So, plan, prepare, advertise, invite.
I do, which reminds me, I need to... There, that's better. That was not a good angle. So if you guys are watching this on whatever, on social media, I am in New York. I'm actually sitting in the bedroom at my mom's house right now. And actually, a lot of people don't know I'm here, which is funny. And I haven't posted about it because I was like, I don't need people to know I'm out of town.
No.
I do. So this week we're talking about agent meetups, and I feel like we've all been to some good ones and we've all been to some shitty ones.
Yes.
And the ones I host are very casual. It's not like a lunch and learn. It's a happy hour, coffee hour once a month to keep the community within our firm alive. So Real is web-based. We're very similar to EXP or Epic or LPT. Everything's cloud-based. So we don't have offices like you would at like a Coldwell or a Keller or an Allen Tate, which is now a Howard Hanna. We are cloud-based. So you don't see people every day. You're not going into an office to see your BIC. I was talking to mine while driving 80 miles an hour on the highway yesterday. Like I didn't have to go to the office. So community is hard for us to build because we don't have that. And so I took the initiative once a month. It's usually the third Thursday. This month it's the fourth Wednesday because I was here tomorrow or 2 days from now. And 1 month we do happy hour. The next month we do coffee hour to make sure that people who have kids can make it. People who like don't drink, don't feel like they have to come to a brewery. So today we wanted to talk about what makes a good agent meetup. Like I said, ours is casual. There's no lunch and learn. There's no set like agenda or topics to discuss. Maybe they'll grow into that one day. I do host one weekly that actually we need to kick off again next month now that school's back for people outside of our firm. It's also pretty casual. Sometimes we have topics, sometimes we don't. But
that's very similar to what we do in Statesville too. So we've talked about I have a group of oh my God, I was gonna say people, but I think it's all ladies still right now that meet in Statesville, and we've done this since oh my gosh, going on 2 years now. Yeah, 2 years now. And this summer has been crazy. There's been a lot of things happening. One of our I say they're not members. There's just people that show up for coffee, but one had a brand new baby, one is moving firms, one there's been school kids are out of school, one is has a senior this year. There's been a lot of life happening the last couple of months, so we haven't been as consistent with it as we were last year and the year before, but I'm excited to get back to it because honestly, it's one of those things that I just look forward to. It ends up being more like a mastermind. And this isn't knocking a lunch and learn. I love a good lunch and learn.
Yeah, I like a good lunch and learn.
Yeah, right. That's why I love a good lunch and learn. But this, I feel like when we talk about building community outside of, for our business as far as our actual transactional business and relationships, but building community inside our real estate community too, because right now relationships go a long way when you're putting in offers reaching out or having a conversation with somebody. I can't tell you how many times recently my last 2 houses that I sold were the offers that came in were a dead drop from Dropbox, not Dropbox, DocuSign. No call, no text. No, I got the DocuSign, and then maybe an hour later, I got a text that said, offer in your email. But there's no hey, how are you? There's nothing. So this is a relationship built business alongside, and it goes beyond our clients. It really needs to
absolutely.
it really needs to include the people that we work with, because if
Yes.
you are working on being that 5 mile famous, chances are you're going to run into the same agent once, twice, several times over the course of your career. So building that community, building that reputation of somebody who's reliable, easy to work with, fun to hang out with, like can have a conversation about something other than market stats. Like I feel like that's all super important things. We're all human.
Yes. And like you said, relationships do matter. I'm pretty sure that I lost an offer last week because an agent didn't like me. Did I do anything wrong? Absolutely not. But she's the type of person who holds a grudge, and she wouldn't pick up the phone to call me to talk about the offer we submitted. And I was just like,
It's
okay,
unfortunate.
I didn't do anything. You just don't like me. Like, and she said it in social circles. She's told people I don't like her. Okay, well, sorry, but you still like, but I think the worst part about, and you and I have been to a couple of these, is when you go to a lunch and learn and you're really excited about the topic
Oh my God. We've gone to these
and it
together.
flops. Yes. And you're just like, how do we politely walk out where no one sees us? How do you
Excuse
Irish
me.
exit in a
Where's
room
the
full of people?
bathroom?
Right. Like I went to one, same person, I've been to a couple that the same person is hosted. The topic looks great, the presenter looks great. I'll be honest, the one totally acceptable, the guy who was supposed to present, his wife went into labor that morning. Okay, cool. But no one knew what he was going to talk about. He didn't have an outline. He didn't have a backup plan. The person hosting this knew nothing about the topic other
Yeah,
than here's a free copy of this book we were going to discuss and how people use and like I guess figure
that
out how to
part.
use it. Do you guys want to talk about what's going on in the market? How are you using social media? And I was like,
That's not what I
I
came
brought
for.
other agents with me to learn about the 12-week year
Hmm.
because I was like, hey, I use this. You should do this. So let down. He did another one where the person presenting got sick. And even though her husband was there, he didn't know what she was going to talk about because no one had written it out. No one had built a plan B. And I
Hmm.
think if you're going to do like a lunch and learn or something where there's a specific topic where it's not just socializing, and maybe it's just the project manager, event coordinator in me, write it down.
Hmm.
Have an outline. Even especially this day and age, if you are the backup or the host and you're like, okay, what if this person doesn't show up? Put it into Chat GPT so you can fake it till you make it, buddy. But that's my biggest thing is if you're promising to deliver something, A, you need to deliver it, and B, you need to have that backup plan.
Hmm.
What if the host's wife goes into labor or the presenter is is sick and can't make it suddenly? What's your plan B for when 50 people show up expecting you to teach them about something?
Absolutely. Yeah. And so, like I said, like if you're, like you said, if there is a topic, you best deliver on that topic. There's been a couple of
Yes.
times that we're going to chat about XYZ at like the coffee meetup. And
Hmm.
then that's not at all what we talk about, but it's not
Right.
something that we're advertising and promoting and like, come learn about this. We just show
Right.
up and somebody had an issue with a septic
Exactly.
inspection, and then we're just like collaborating and masterminding on that need in that moment. And that's what I love about these kind of agent meetups, is that it's very supple, it's very versatile, and you can have multiple conversations happening at once. Like it's not a
Yes.
sit down, get your drink, sit down, shut up and listen. You can have like 3, 4, 5 different conversations happening with 10 or 12 agents that are there, that are all being very helpful in that moment to that person.
Yeah, and that's cool. Like even with our Friday meetup, there are times where we're like, okay, so and so wants to discuss this week. But like you said, we get there, someone's had a shit week or something's come up, and so we're asking questions and then it spirals and we're like, okay, well that's
Hmm.
fine. Like we just had this topic picked just in case.
Yep.
But if you're hosting a specific one, you got to have a plan. And you
Hmm.
got to have a backup plan because what if the power goes out? What if, like the internet's not working? Like so many things. So I think I have a couple steps built in here for like, and they apply to both, like if you're doing a formal one or a casual one, but to host a really cool meetup that doesn't suck. And the first one is keep it simple, especially if it's your first time. Just keep it simple. Like my coffee meetups for our farm, I love them. It's literally just, hey, come if you can, show up at this coffee shop or this brewery or bar or whatever, and we're gonna hang out. Um,
Come if you
Keep it
can and
short.
come as you are, which I love too, because
Yes.
sometimes we run into those meetups that are like, are they even considered meetups when you're, dressed to the nines? And listen, I love a good
Right.
costume party and things like that, but sometimes people just need to show up as they are.
Right.
Bring in their
Yeah.
crap that happened this week.
Exactly. And like you can give it a theme if you want. And when we say theme, we don't mean like you're all dressed to the nines. It can be, I mean, it can be everything casual from contracts and closing, or we call ours coffee and conversations, or coffee and collab, or it could be contracts and cocktails, or something like that where it is fancy. I mean, you could go either way, but it doesn't have to be complex, I think
Yep.
is what I'm trying to say. Like, and keep it if it's your first thing and it's not like an event, less than 2 hours. Like hours are
Oh,
two
for
hours to give people some
sure.
flexibility, but don't hold people captive.
Mhm.
Like,
Make
no,
it a drop-in
we
event.
all
Like we're gonna be here from 9 to 10:30.
right. And honestly, that's what I do when I visit home because I'm not running around to see people. So I started being like, I'll be at this bar to get a burger at 6 o'clock. If you're
Come
not
say
there
hi
by
if
the
you want
time I'm
to.
done getting a burger and a drink, then I'm probably leaving.
I'll
I'm not
catch you
sticking
next
around
time.
all night.
Well, and that's the
Um,
thing, and that makes it so you're being respectful of other people's time too, because there's a lot of us that do time block and schedule, and they have things. So if it's easy, like, oh, that's like an hour coffee meetup, but I don't have to stay the whole time, like that can go on the calendar. But if they're like, oh yeah, they want to do this meetup, but Lord, one day it was 20 minutes long, nobody showed up, and then the next
right.
one was 3.5 hours long. I didn't get anything done I was supposed to do. Needs to have some sort of structure, like
Yes.
not an itinerary. Here's our agenda for the day, but something that people can hold on to and remember.
Right. Like everyone knows every Friday I'm at Spruce Goose Station from 10 to 12. It's just time blocked in. Like my TC knows I don't do Friday morning closings for many reasons, but I'll be at Spruce Goose Station. Like that takes priority. So you can like just keep it simple but with a time limit. The second one is like make it feel casual but intentional. I think we kind of cover this is like it maybe should have a format. Like it doesn't have to be a training or um like a presentation,
Mhm.
but you can have a format where like it's like okay, everyone introduces like I like the one when I go to empowering women, we go around the table and just say, who you are and what you do in the industry because it's not all realtors. It's
Mm,
interior designers, it's mortgage lenders, it's home inspectors. Um and then that one does have more of a structure. Like every month there's a topic and Lorelai walks us through questions. But it could just be, okay, here's our introductions. I try to open ours on Fridays with like, does anyone have anything they need to talk through right now? Like, are you having any issues or things you don't understand that you need to pick people's brains about? Let's talk about that first.
mhm.
Um, what's working, what's not working in this market, you know? And if it's a larger meetup, if it's more than like half a dozen people, I try to encourage people to introduce themselves to others. Hey, or like, hey, like you, if it were, say you and I meeting the first time, or you and someone else who works, like, I know you have a listing in Albemarle and you were looking for someone to do open houses. Hey, Brenna, you need to meet so and so. They work the Albemarle market. Like, you should talk to them.
That helps
Or,
eliminate the people that like. I mean, listen. There's always like you have friends. You sit with your friends. Like I think that's like ingrained in us as human beings. But also,
right.
some of the things that for the lunch and learns or the agent meetups that we've gone to in the past, like you get those clicks, those little like
Yes.
this group of people shows up together. They don't talk to anybody. They take up the whole front row. Like, but it feels like a very closed circle, and that's hard to penetrate sometimes, when you're like
Yes.
trying to make an introduction, trying to make that connection with somebody in Albemarle, and they feel like they're not interested in making a connection outside of that circle. That can be hard. Same thing goes like when you're traveling, like you've gone to the Rise convention and I've gone to Girls with Grit. Like if you try to like introduce yourself and make these connections for referral partners out of state, or you know that this woman is really good with Trello and want to like chit chat about that, if they're very reserved and like, oh no, this is our four people, like we're sitting at this table by ourselves, like why did you walk up to us, that's very off-putting sometimes.
Yes.
So I think that that's a great idea, because introducing yourself and making yourself available for conversations, it's just like us doing this podcast, like having an outlet, having an ability to help somebody where you were, right? Like that only builds the best of relationships. So sometimes, like our Statesville group, we don't, again, have a topic usually, but there's been meetings that were like, hey, Kaylin, you've been doing this cool thing in Lofty. Like, show us what that looks like on your side. And so pop up a computer screen and be like, listen, this is what I do. This is what it looks like. It doesn't, like you said, have to be a presentation. But like, oh, you want to know what I'm doing? Here you go. Here's what I do. This is what I'm doing.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, I agree. It doesn't have to be formal, but if it is, again, try to stick to it. But I like connecting people. Like, and I tend, when I introduce people, I feel like I'm introducing them at like a baseball player coming up to bat. Like, this is Brenna. She lives in Maiden or Newton, and she has like mini ponies. So if you like that, she's got a couple kids, and she's originally from Maine. Like, you should get to know her. That is how I introduce people.
Mhm.
And people always look at me. I'm like, well, it gives you a conversation starter.
It's an icebreaker right off the
Yeah,
bat
it's like
versus
you
like,
don't
hey,
have
have you
to
met Alyssa?
ask. Right,
Crickets, crickets.
right. Who are you? No, it's, hey, have you met Alyssa? She is a crazy cat lady who likes to weightlift and has a preference for German cars. Oh, and by the way, she's from upstate New York, so she knows good food. Like, that to me, I will always introduce. And I know it seems crazy, but I do it in my personal life too. Like, at my birthday party, that's what I was doing because no one knew each other. Like, it was
Yeah.
my family, it was a couple friends, and then it was a bunch of real estate people. So they were all naturally clicking. And I was like, no, 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 y'all need to mix. So,
Talk
like,
to
I
each
was
other.
introducing my cousin. I was like, this is Kristen. She's an attorney in Cleveland, Ohio. I don't really know what she practices. I think she's in litigation because she's always all over the country in court. And she has two little girls, and like, they're involved in these things. Or this is my cousin Jordan. She is a CPA in Rochester, but she also started a business where she plans wine tours for you. So if you're looking to go on a wine tour in upstate New York, then you need to talk to her because she'll coordinate everything from the bus to the winery appointments, everything. Like, that's just how. So do that. Introduce people that way and encourage them to meet other people. I mean, we're here to network, right?
Yes.
I think the other thing, which I have been slacking on with our weekly meetup, and I need to get better at because we do want it to grow, but I'm pretty good for the firm one because it is just internal. But you got to promote it. You got to talk about it. Like, so for the monthly firm one, it goes into Work Vivo. It goes into all of the Facebook pages or chats. Um, and I really need to ask the brokers in charge if I could have like an email list. I don't know if they'd let me have one, but you got to talk about it. People need to know, like, if you want it to be more than your five best friends, then you've got to post it places or share it
Mhm.
places so people know.
All of these points too go for the same thing. Like if you're hosting a back to school party, like these same principles apply, whether this is an agent to agent meetup, which is what we're focusing on today, or if you're doing, a mom meetup or a
Right.
client meetup, like those kinds of things. Like you want it to be approachable and easy. You want it to feel like they were specifically invited because they are, and you want them to be there. and you want it to be something that they're like, oh, that was great. I would do that again. Not like,
Right. Right.
that was a
And
waste of
like
45 minutes.
think of it like an open house or marketing a house or anything you do on social media. If you only post it once and it doesn't happen to pull up in their feed because the algorithm that day doesn't like you, they're not going to know.
You've missed everybody.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
you've got to post the initial post, send a reminder. I comment on people's stuff like, hey, see you Friday at coffee. Or hey, don't forget we have happy hour this week. Would love to see you. Haven't seen you the last couple ones. Stuff like that. Or even texting people. Like if they're not big social media people, I'm like, hey, don't forget we've got this week.
Yeah.
I think or like for my network, I email my North Carolina network to be like, hey, just a reminder, don't forget to let your network know.
Going on. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the flip side of this, because we know like there's agents that are not hosting these events and planning these events, but what about you showing up to an event? Because there are definitely things that you can do. And listen, I'm guilty of it too, and I know Alyssa's guilty of it. Like we show up, we learn the thing.
We do it together sometimes.
We show up, we learn the thing, we make faces at each other, and leave.
And then we leave. And then we text each other or we call each other on the way home after we've ordered a Diet Coke or a Dunkin' Donuts, and we're like, can you fucking believe that shit?
And we debrief. That's how that works.
Yes,
but
yes,
honestly, the ones that have been the best and the ones that I think, well, just the takeaways for you guys to go into, again, whether it is a small lunch and learn, whether it's just an agent get together, or if it's one of those big brokerage conferences or something like that, you need to go in with the mindset of, I want this to grow my business. And people are like, well, you're just meeting with a bunch of real estate agents. How is that going to help you?
But it's not. It's like,
I have closed
especially at the conferences
this year, you guys. 7 referrals. And guess what? Only 3 of them, I say only 3 of them, only 3 of them are from past clients, right? So 4 of them are from outside agents. And guess how that connection started? A conversation.
Exactly.
From saying hello.
Right. Or like answering a question, or, you know, being in the room. Like, so we have some questions listed here. So like you got to show up with a goal, especially if it's a larger event. Your goal should be like, make 3 connections, get 1 takeaway, at least 1 referral connection.
I gotta tell you, I don't
people know where you're from.
I don't look at it as a goal. I am a child at heart, and I turn it into a scavenger hunt. So
I like this idea.
I'm looking for, so you can look on Redfin data, right? And people relocating to North Carolina are coming from these primary states, right? Let's say there's 3 hotspot states that people are relocating to North Carolina from. I am finding an agent from if this is a big event, right?
I love this. Yeah.
You should have seen me at Girls with Grit.
I was going to say, did you go to the recent one, by the way? We didn't even talk about it. Didn't they just have an event somewhere? I feel like they just had an event like in Denver or something. I think it was one of their hometown things.
Anyways.
No, but I like this. It's like playing the license plate game, but you're looking for specific license plates.
It is, and it can just be something that you like. It gives you a goal, because otherwise, like, you're standing there and you're making you're looking around the room waiting to make that like weird eye contact with one person. You're like, do you want to talk? Yes. Okay. Let me come say hello to you. Otherwise, I don't know. I just feel like going in with like, I need to meet somebody from New Jersey, from New Hampshire, and I don't know, Texas.
Right.
That's what I need. And then
I'm going to take this to Rise with me and be like, okay. Because at Rise, you have the state built on your name tag and be like, where
so you can see it. Oh, that's nice. Yeah. The name tags at Girls with Grit had locations on them too, but they were like, they're typed. So you have to get pretty close to be able to see where they're from on their name tag.
Well, I think another ninja move, like when I go to these conferences, I wear stuff that says where I'm from. Like, I know they're going to give me a lanyard, so I have pins that I bring that very blatantly North Carolina. Or I'll wear like a Panthers t-shirt or something to strike up that conversation. Be like, oh, you're from Charlotte. Like, yep. Yes, I am.
Yep. And then the other thing you want to like, there's so many times, especially those big conferences and even some of our coffee meetups, if we're bouncing around conversations like topic to topic to topic, I'm like, oh, I got to do this. Oh, Latasha had such a good idea here. And oh, like, whatever it is, you need to have one thing, right? Because we're tying this back to our book of the quarter. One
One
thing that you
thing.
come home and implement, because it does no good to go do the thing, do the lunch and learn, listen to the people, and be like, that was amazing, and
Right.
then not do anything with it.
Right. Exactly. And there's some hook, like, I don't want to call them hooks, but there's some things that you can, tools you can use to help, like, put it in your notes in your phone
Mm.
or friend them on Facebook and send them a DM that says, hey, thanks for the tip about this. I'm really excited to go home and work on this thing.
Mm-hmm. Immediately. And like business
Yeah,
cards are great.
immediately.
People aren't putting them in their phone. Like
No,
they're
even if you
not.
put a QR code on it, like,
So if
or,
you're chit
or
chatting and
like the
having
little
a,
handouts, like,
yeah,
I
they're
get it,
cool,
but
but they're,
well, and like, I think they're great if you're having that conversation.
mm-hmm.
But when I was leaving Rise one year, there were two agents with giant, like, reusable shopping bags full of the, like, the electrolyte packets, the
Doing
liquid
like
IVs
line drops.
that they slapped a label on, and they were just practically throwing them at people. And I was like, thanks for the liquid IV, but I have no idea who the fuck you are.
Or
Why
why I
would I
need to
refer
know
you
who
because
you
you
are.
gave me, yeah,
Yeah.
like, no, have, I do think having something tangible, if you're having the conversations, tangible and memorable. Like, I did one for an event, they were pill bottles, and it was a conference survival kit. I put like a little packet of electrolytes in there, and I put a little thing of Advil in there.
Mm-hmm.
And like the label on the outside looked like a prescription, but it was all my information. But I gave them the people I talked to be like, hey, and there was a QR code to take them to my Facebook because they're agents. I don't want them to come to my website.
Right.
But you have to structure that and execute that well. It's not just to throw this at me as 5,000 people are leaving a conference room. That's not how that works.
Yep. Get their phone number, send them a text, find them on social media, friend request them. Um, be a part of their world, because if you're a part of theirs, they're with the algorithm and things, they're going to be a part of yours, and then they'll be like,
Right.
oh yeah, I do know an agent in Charlotte, oh yeah, I do know an agent in Newton, like those
Right.
kinds of things, which is
Like, I
great.
met two agents in Canada, Alberta. They're awesome. I love them. We follow each other on social media now.
Mm-hmm.
So I know it's happening.
I gotta tell you, one of my favorite things that I was handed at a conference, and you'd have to follow her on social media to understand. I had like seen her previously on Facebook, but okay, Tegan Braun, if you're listening to this, I love you. She homeschools. She's got a pile of kids. They have a farm. They do the 4-H thing, but she's obsessed with her chickens. If you know me, I don't like chickens. I
No,
was
you don't like birds that much.
tormented by chickens growing up
Yes.
at my parents' house. But we were chit chatting, and she hands me this little. It's a chicken. I wish I had it. It's like a wooden cutout, and it has her information on it, but it's a chicken, and it says the real estate chick on it,
Love it.
right? Oh
Love
my god, I
it.
still have it. It's somewhere
Right?
in my office here.
Yeah, and
Because I
that
was like,
ties
this
back
is
to her
so,
brand. That's
yes.
perfect.
So
Yes.
you go to her social media, and she's like talking about real estate, holding a chicken. Like she's just like doing farm chores and this kind of stuff. And I'm just like, this is so cool. I love
Yeah.
it.
I love that. I really love that. So I think if we're going to give you all some homework on this one, in the next 30 days, even if it just starts with like 5 agents you know, host a group coffee meetup or a cocktail hour or a hot girl walk or whatever your thing is. Get 5 people together. Make it a monthly thing. Make it a bi-weekly thing. Whatever works in your schedule. But if you really want to grow your business, and we're not just talking about agent attraction, we're talking about referrals and, things like that. Start networking. Like, it is a long play. It's not going to bring you immediate business, I'll be honest. But go out, have the lunches, coordinate the meetup. Like, even if it's like you are in the stage of life where it's all preschool moms. Okay, well, find the other real estate preschool moms. Or, like, build your community, because that's going to bring you more business. And it's also going to bring you other things that we're going to, especially if they're local agents. Like, next week, we're going to record about a vacation. What's that? How do you go on vacation and keep your business running? Well, I can tell you from experience, these meetups, are going to help you do that.
Mm-hmm.
So start planning one of those. And again, it can just be casual. And everyone buys their own coffee. You don't even have to spend money. It's perfect.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And God forbid nobody shows up. You're at a wicked cool coffee spot with your
Exactly.
laptop. You're going to get some work done. It's just like holding an open house. Even if nobody walks through the open house, you best be getting some work done. Some
Exactly. And
content,
that's
some social media.
sometimes those are some of my favorite ones where I'm like, I did not have time for this day.
Thank God.
Oh, showed up. Perfect. I can sit here and get work done without the dog driving me nuts.
That's
Because I can see her little paws under the door right now, pacing back and forth.
Waiting.
Mom, why can't I come in? Yeah.
Oh,
But yeah.
Good. I hope, seriously, go out. There are some bad ones, but you don't know until you know, And
Exactly.
if there's things that a certain topic that you do want to learn more about, lunch and learns are a great option and a great way to meet those people. And if you don't have immediate agents that you're like, hey, I would love to invite you to coffee and pick your brain or chit chat about how we're moving these listings that nobody seems to want right now, those are great places to meet those agents to then have kind of more of those like not as structured, more
Right. Or if you don't
mastermind
have that group
situations.
of people to start it with, jump in your local realtor group, jump in your local neighborhood group.
Mm-hmm.
Like we do the one on Fridays. It's not just realtors, it's lenders, it's interior decorators. Like build your people, build your community. So I have faith y'all can do this. And on that note, we will see you next Tuesday.
Bye, guys.
No, we will see you next Tuesday.
We just finished another episode of Contracts and Chaos, but believe me, the chaos does not stop here. So check out the show notes for our email address and where to follow us on socials, and we will see you next week.